Have you or someone you know recently gotten engaged and are now looking for a celebrant for your big day? Well, look no further because I am a registered marriage celebrant servicing the southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales areas. Not only do I take care of all the paperwork, but I focus on creating a personalised ceremony that reflects you as a couple. So whether you want a ceremony that's fun and exciting, if you want a bit of a tearjerker, or maybe a bit of both, get in touch by heading to therollingcelebrant.com or look me up on Facebook or Instagram at the_rolling_celebrant and let's discuss how to make your wedding day one you've always dreamt of, as long as no stairs are involved. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. You're listening to Chats from a Chair, with me, Nick Dempsey, coming to you from my wheelchair. I speak with people who have a great story to tell, portraying the human potential, often in the face of adversity. Check out the Instagram page at chatsfromachair_podcast and let me know who you think I should have on and have a chat with. Also, don't forget to hit follow on whatever platform you're listening to this. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode. Coming up in this episode, I speak with Chanelle Morris, who has a vision impairment condition that we'll find out a lot more about exactly how it impacts her day to day. But she takes on a lot of amazing challenges in life and still achieves a lot despite her condition. So we'll cover all of that and then also the negative ways that it's impacted her and those around her growing up. So stay tuned for all of that and more. G'day, Chanelle. Thanks for coming on and having a chat.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, I want to get into a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting things. But first off, just tell me a bit about your upbringing. Where'd you grow up?
So I've been on the Gold Coast my whole life, actually.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm just in Tweed Heads, but yeah, basically been up all Queensland, Gold Coast forever.
Yeah, okay.
It's home.
Siblings as well?
Yeah. I've got a younger sibling. She's about 4 years younger than me, and we've just been here our whole lives, and we love it. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And then I've got mum and dad as well.
Did you grow up doing the typical Gold Coast surfing and that sort of thing?
I wish I could say yes, because I feel like if you live on the Gold Coast, everyone's like, you should do your surf. And if you say no, they're like, oh my God. But
what's wrong with you?
I am definitely a beach girl though. And I do surf every now and then, maybe like once a month. I'll try and get on like a longboard and just stand and go straight. But it's pretty scary. The ocean, like you have no control.
When I first started trying to surf when I moved to the coast, because I'm from a country town, I just didn't understand the power of the ocean and just got smashed a few times.
Yes,
so.
And it can be really scary.
Oh, definitely, underestimated it.
Mm-hmm.
And how old are you?
I'm 25.
Yeah, okay, cool. 25 years in the Gold Coast, not bad.
Yes, I know. I can't complain. And I've done travelling, and every time I come home, I'm like, this is the best place ever.
Very spoiled, aren't we?
Yeah. So
you have an eye condition or a sight condition. What is your condition?
So my condition doesn't have a name and no one's ever seen it before. So it's quite hard to explain what it is in like simple terms. But I've asked a specialist to kind of explain it out to me and spell it out because it is quite confusing.
Yep.
So I see about 30% vision, and they believe that I was born with this condition, but there's no real way to prove it.
Right.
They only picked up on it when I was about 4 years old. And I just explain it to people on like how I can see is like if you just picture a watercolor painting, it's like a bit blurry. It's like, details are missing, how it's just real hazy and stuff. That's kind of like my vision,
so
I think.
You can make it out, but it's a bit just blurry.
Yeah. I can see objects and things. I can't read words or anything like that, like at all, like menus or it has to be really close or really large font.
Right.
But objects I'm usually okay with. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And glasses?
No, so glasses have never been able to help me because it's like I need magnification, but glasses, obviously I binoculars would be okay, but I'm not going to wear something this thick on my face.
Just walk around with a pair of binoculars.
Yeah. So I have like a monocular, which is just one,
Yep.
that helps me read like number plates, like for Ubers and things like that.
Yep.
But yeah, no glasses, no surgeries. It's just, there's a lot of question marks around it, but yeah, it ends up being about 30% vision.
Do you have a first memory of realising you had this condition or being told about it or something like that?
I actually don't have a memory. I wish I did because I love to like know more about it. But I remember I was young. I think I was about 5 years old, and I do remember waking up in a hospital really angry. And Mum can also like tell me that as well. Apparently, I didn't want to talk to her or no one. I think I maybe just didn't understand what was going on, and I had like all these needles and everything. And it's because that's when I went through like lots of testing just to figure out what was going on. And that's kind of the first memory I have of like some kind of medical thing. I just remember being so angry. And then after that, I don't really have much memory, just certain experiences through school that really triggered me. But yeah, no.
So they ran tests and they don't really know what it is or what's caused it?
No,
or
they
like...
think there's like a theory that when Mum was pregnant with me, she got like a virus or a flu and it attacked my eyes.
Right.
But there's no way of proving that. Mum doesn't remember being sick. She doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, okay.
But they didn't notice until the age of 4. So like it could have even been from then up until 4. But again, they don't remember anything of me, screaming for days or crying or any pain, nothing.
Yeah, right.
It was just, it's just a real question mark. To me, it looks like a chemical burn. It looks like there's like photos of it and it looks like craters on the moon. Like there's like scarring and all this stuff on my eyes. And it looks like maybe it looks like burnt or something. And both my parents have had history of like taking chemicals off boats. And my mum can't smell or taste because of chemical overload in her system. I'm like, is that something? Did that get part? But there's no way.
It's interesting, isn't it? Is there, and have you done your own research? Is there any cases around the world you've found?
I've not found anything. And that's why I turn a lot to social media and I do post some stuff because I'm like, maybe one day someone will be like,
There's
oh my God,
one.
this.
Yeah.
And I've looked at, America and overseas, they might have some more answers, but I've had people fly in from all over the world, like Singapore, the UK, and no one's ever seen it. But it's been a few years now. So, yeah, I look into it, but then I kind of get a bit disheartened. So I'm thinking social media might help me one day, though.
Yeah, with social media can be good for a lot of things.
Yes.
With things like that, kind of connecting people. Obviously, there's a lot of bad that goes with it too.
Of course, trying to find the good side
using it in the right way can be a great thing.
Yeah. So hopefully one day someone might reply to a video and be like, me too, or like, they might be a professor or something.
Yeah.
And
Do you think that would have helped you a lot when you were younger, seeing someone in a similar position than you and just being able to
absolutely
just
and
chat? Or
even just to know someone has, it doesn't even have to be like eye condition, but just something, to watch someone's videos or just even meet someone that has a condition, a disability or anything like that, I think would have really helped me. But I guess when you're younger, I didn't ever talk about my condition, so I never knew what other people were going through and things like that. But it would have been amazing to have even something like this podcast, like what you're doing, to listen to know I'm not alone or something like that. And just like, just be able to talk about things with someone, like not being able to read the board in the classroom and things like that. It was a very solo journey. Yeah.
Do you think it had a bit of an effect on your mental health growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have developed the worst beliefs about myself and my capabilities. Like growing up through school, there was just so many experiences where I was shown that I was less than or not as good as, and what that does to like the mind. And then you kind of like form that lens about yourself, and then you go through the rest of life with that. And then that seriously affected me. I get triggered very easily working on it, but like I would get really triggered really quickly. If someone said, my biggest trigger would be if someone said that I couldn't do something. I would lose. I would just like break down. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot to then have the courage to go again and give it another go and figure things out, because that's what I've found with my disability. A lot of the times when you figure out how to do things is just by trial and error, and then so you need after failing a few times, then you'll figure out what works. But to keep going again, it gets frustrating.
It is, and your confidence, like when your confidence gets knocked, it's just, it takes so much to regain it and feel strong enough to keep going. And a big thing for my condition is embarrassment. I struggled so much. Obviously, when I was young, I've developed the idea that it's embarrassing to be different.
Yep.
And so I never spoke of my condition. I couldn't even talk about anything without crying or like breaking down because I was so embarrassed of it. Like if I waved at the wrong person, which so many people do, but I would be like, that's because of my eyes. And then the negative things would repeat. So my mental health was just all over the place.
Yeah, I could imagine, especially like growing up. I even think about school, like sometimes
Yeah.
the weird kids at school, but then
Yeah.
they were who they were, and you come out of school and get a bit
Yes.
older and you realise, like,
Yes.
you get a bit envious of it. Just realise people that
Yeah.
just don't care about what others
When
think and
they're
they are themselves. Like,
Yeah.
to have the courage to just be able to do that is,
Yeah.
but again, you only sometimes figure it as you get a bit older and
Yeah.
mature a little bit.
And what about school for you? I'm interested because I just want to, like, it's nice to,
Yeah.
talk to other people and, like, what did you find?
Well, I didn't have a disability at school, so
Okay.
I only had my injury when I was 21
Okay.
at my 21st birthday party. So I gone through school. I didn't really have any experiences of people with disabilities.
Okay,
Really,
yeah.
I had one guy at school I only went to the school for a year, but
Yeah.
he was in a wheelchair, and
Okay.
I don't remember thinking anything of it, but I also, I just didn't really know many people with
Yeah,
disabilities.
of course, not exposed.
Yeah,
and-
so I mean, my view now, obviously being exposed to heaps of people,
Yes.
I'm grateful for that in a way, just having that
Yeah.
experience with people.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely
course.
opened my eyes a lot to all
Yeah.
different conditions, and
Yeah.
then doing the podcast and speaking with people like yourself,
Yes.
and wide array of people. That
Yeah.
it's been really cool just to find out more. And
Of course. And I think, like, unless, you're exposed to it, someone with disability, you have one yourself, or, it's like you work with someone or anything like that, it doesn't affect you. And I think that's why these podcasts are amazing, because it's spreading awareness, and the people that aren't affected by disability will still take something away. They'll learn, they'll, be exposed to it.
Well, that's what I think. Like my family, my friends, now have obviously learnt so much just from
Yes.
having me around.
Of course.
And that's what, when we've spoken, the podcast I used to do, we would speak to family members of people
Okay.
with conditions and
That would be
disabilities.
so interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of them, it was so common that they just grew up with, if they had a family member or a friend or whatever it was, it would just be so normal to them, and they were often a lot more accepting of people in general.
Yes.
Just because they've had that experience in their
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, like I said, I just had no exposure to it.
Yeah.
So it was just a different thing for me, but I
Yes.
think having that exposure and a bit more, whether someone, or like you said, just with podcasts
Yes.
and on TV and different things like that. So, it'd be a massive help to people, I think, moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
We'll get to some of the more exciting things you're doing now, but what were some of the tasks that you, I guess, did struggle with growing up and still struggle with day to day now?
So growing up, it was a lot. It's very different now, actually, and that I'm excited to talk about it. So when I was growing up, even until about a year, maybe two ago now, so like say 23, 24 years old, I would struggle with like the things that you would assume, like cooking, for example, and not being able to see properly. So I would like bend over to like cut, and then I would have really bad, like I do have bad posture from that. So I couldn't see what I was doing with cooking. So I just wouldn't cook. I would have trouble exercising and going to the gym because I can't like read the weights or notice if, I'm following someone in a yoga class, I can't see what their poses they're doing. Like it would just anything really, like it was everything. It was going to the grocery store, can't read labels, can't see things, so I'm just not going to. Spotting people in public, like, and a lot of it though that I realized is that it all stems from embarrassment.
Yeah,
all
right.
of it.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I struggle with like cutting things literally, but it's like I never would give it a go. I would never try. Same with gym and stuff because of the embarrassment in case I stuff up, in case I, embarrass myself.
You figure if you don't put yourself in a position
Yes.
to fail, you can't fail.
Yeah, so a lot of that was, I'm so organized. I plan everything, and just so I have control over it all. And I feel like a lot of people with disability, we try and control things because, for me in my case, I wasn't in control of my mind. I didn't have control of my condition. So what I could control was literally avoiding the shops, avoiding the gym and all of that stuff. And then, it wasn't until about a year ago that I realized that it was, my mindset more than my condition.
Yep.
So now I have to push myself because I'm still, set in my ways, but I'll cook and I don't care if I embarrass myself. Like it's, it doesn't matter. I go to the gym, I do everything. I go grocery shopping. I have support workers that help, but I still try and be as independent as possible because I don't want to live that life that I was living, stuck at home and just not like, living my life. And it was like I have so much more potential than that, but I was just thinking that, my condition stopped me from all those things.
Yeah, just negative headspace around it. Yeah.
There are lots of challenges. So like reading menus, can't do that.
Yeah.
But phones are great. I can take a photo and zoom in and say, but there's still challenges I face every day, even crossing roads. Like, it's like, is that car slowing? Is it like, it's just, there's lots of things.
So you have support workers that help you just get out and about and do little things?
Yeah, they help me, like with the groceries, with appointments and anything that I need to be reading, really. Like, say I'm going to an appointment and I have to fill out a form and things like that. Groceries, helping me like locate things and read labels if I have to, shopping and all of those things. And then also like accessing community in like with my hobbies like golfing, and of course I picked like the hardest sport ever for low vision, but it's like they help me and support me with that stuff, which is good. Have you
ever tried like vision impaired sports and things like that?
I haven't. I've been told to have a look more into it, and I did go to a golf day that was for all abilities, and that was really exciting. That was fun. So I did enjoy that. It was about a month ago. So I'm really open to it. I know that there's a company I used to work for, and it's up more North Queensland, but they have some kind of table tennis thing and things like that, which looks really cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be cool. I know family friend of ours plays like blind cricket and things.
Yes.
He's got, where there's like I think a bell in the ball or something like that.
There is. That's a really cool idea. I think I'm going to look more into it, especially in the new year, especially in golf, because I just really love my golf.
Yeah, okay.
But it'd be cool to try something like that.
Is there different leagues for golf and things for like disability golf or vision impaired golf?
I think absolutely. Okay. And then I always look at like all the Paralympians and I'm like, I want to be something like, I don't have a talent or a sport or anything like that, but I'm always like, it'd just be amazing to get into some kind of sport with disability. And
It goes back to that thing, like with anything, something like the sport or even the groceries, just by getting out and giving it a go. I'm sure you've picked up on heaps of little tricks that you wouldn't have known otherwise, or
absolutely,
what works and what doesn't.
And my other senses, like it's so true what they say, when you lose a sense, the other ones do get heightened.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely agree with that. I don't even, obviously I can't really rely on my eyes, but I use my other senses. I'm not even aware of it sometimes. And like, I have a great memory, and just, I think it's all had to compensate for my eyes. And I don't even realize like I'm doing it. Like I'll meet someone once, and then I'll obviously take in exactly what their voice sounds like and some of their mannerisms that if I see them again, I'm like, oh, that's such and such just by the way they walk, like their shoe noise. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, right. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
My best mate has really bad vision.
Okay.
I'm not sure. He's got a rare condition as well, but he, a lot of the time, like someone would yell out his name and wave, and I'd be with him, and he'd just wave and then turn to me and be like, "Who's that?"
Oh my God. I've never heard something more real. It happened to me this morning. It happens to me almost every like second day, and I'm always with someone, and I'm like, who is it? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, so I just pretend.
Yeah.
But honestly, I could not tell you who's been talking. Like sometimes I'll get a message and I'll be like, oh, it was that person. But again, it's that embarrassment. And it's like, no, you know what? I can't see, it's fine. But it literally happened to me this morning. And thank gosh they explained. They're like, it's Sam. I was like, they're like, oh, this person. I was like, oh my God.
I had lots of fun with him actually. He would hold his phone really close to his face so he could see. So I'd always smack his phone into his face and things. But
you can definitely have fun with it. And same thing I would do, like all things. That would be amazing to meet him because it's like someone just like understands, you know.
He's getting me back for a lot now.
Yeah.
But, he's loving it. So I kind of regret some of the things I did to him now.
Hopefully he doesn't remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. So you've done heaps of tasks. So I just want to go back for a sec again to, I guess, I don't want to focus on the negative things, but I guess the impact you've seen it have on your family and loved ones, both negative and positive.
Yes.
Have you noticed things or have they said things to you?
Absolutely. I think, with family, when I got the diagnosis at the age of 4, my parents were actually told that I was going to go blind.
Right.
And basically the specialist was like, how like, you're bad parents. How did you not pick up on this?
Yeah, right.
Is what they were told.
Shit.
And mum is quite soft as a person. So she just, went down. And of course, dad as well. It just would have been awful to like feel a blame as well. Like, you get this diagnosis, your daughter's going to go blind, but also like it's your fault for not realizing.
Yeah.
So that was really hard for them. They, even to this day, it's quite hard to actually have a conversation about it with either of my parents.
About your vision in general?
Yeah, just with the emotions, and I think it all comes back to that moment in particular. And after a few weeks, so they picked themselves up and they were like, right, second opinions, like, let's go. And thank God, because it's like the specialist that we're with now is like, how could someone ever say that when they've never seen it?
Yeah, doctors are dicks sometimes.
Yeah.
Aren't
Oh
they?
my gosh, the
ridiculous.
healthcare system is another story. But so I think in the start it was horrific for them, and I think a lot of that though they still hold, like they have, and even now it is quite a bit of a struggle to talk about my condition with family, and because they're so close to it as well. So I also think as like growing up, I not really talking about it with them kind of held a lot inside me as well. And but my sister has been awesome to talk with as well, and I think it's opened everyone's eyes. And like you said earlier, like when they're exposed to it, they appreciate everyone, and they're just so kind and loving, and kind of a different perspective, which has been a very good positive. But there's lots of it's just been hard emotionally, I think.
And so your condition isn't degenerative at all?
We don't know. Right. I'm assuming it's not, because it's been ever since the age of 4 that I go every year, we get photos done and all these other tests, and it's been the exact same.
Right, okay.
So I'm assuming it's fine. I think that the damage is done.
Yep.
But again, there is no like confirmation, but I am quite certain for some reason that it is stable.
Cool. And your sister has 20/20 vision?
Yeah, everyone, they've done all like the testing in my family, and she's got full vision, and she's been a great support as well. Like so not being able to drive has been my biggest challenge, and mum and the rest of my family have been amazing in being. I didn't have any support or funding until the age of like 20.
Right.
So from 16 to 20, drove me everywhere, like did everything for me. My family have taken on that massive role, especially my sister. She is 4 years younger than me, so she took on a bit of like a carer type role. So she is actually very mature above her years, and I think it's actually maybe to do with that.
That's another thing I found with a lot more mature, the people that had disabilities within the family.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it forces you to sort of grow up in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, because she would she loves cooking. She's like done it since she was like 5 for some weird reason, but she would cook for me, or like she would just do a lot of things, and I think she's taken on that role, and very, very mature.
Should have just played that card, but no, I can't cook, you need to cook for me.
And
just play it up as much as possible.
I should.
Okay. So that's, I guess, both positive and negative that's been on the family. Like you said, that maturity and being accepting, but then obviously the emotional toll of growing up and not. I get the not knowing would be hard. That's if there was another case to compare to and say, but just a lot of the not knowing must be just the hardest thing about it, I imagine.
Especially being told, that from the start. I think you don't like really know to trust, like if what the person even now is saying. I mean, I've been with him for like, I don't know, I'm supposed to say 18 years or something, this same specialist, but it's kind of like, but do you know? Like, it's just, there's no certainty. So it can be scary, especially like if I've woken up even like with blurry eyes one day, I've like freaked out.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's gotten worse. Yeah, right.
So, but my family, they've been absolute troopers. So.
It's scary sometimes, like the trust you put in the health system and doctors and things. Like you expect them to know, but I mean, they can't know everything, but sometimes it's just the way, even just the delivery of things, you think can be a lot
manner,
better.
I think, is like what is horrific sometimes. And I've heard so many stories, and I'm sure you would have as well with your podcast, definitely. And of some of the things we're told, or the way things are even said. Like, how even for my parents, how could you not know that she was blind? Or
it'd be, I imagine it'd be yours would almost be the opposite of mine, where
what is
I was, because I was a C3-4 quadriplegic, and when they look at the same same level of injury, they just want to make you the same as everyone else that's been there.
Yes.
They won't push you. They'll be like, right, this is what you are. This is the equipment you need and things. So, I mean, you really got to advocate for yourself and know what you need and listen to your body and do things like that. That was...
Because only you know.
Exactly. So...
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
be guided by the health professionals, obviously, but
Yes.
I think that'd be a big thing. Anyone listening with a condition or
Yeah.
listen to their body, just you know what you need and to
Yes.
push for what you need.
Absolutely. That is such a good message for people to take away because, not no two people experience a condition the same way. Like
Yeah,
we might
exactly.
be vision impaired if, but it's like the experience is so different.
Yeah,
So,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
Mhm.
What about things like dating and things like that? Is that
Yeah.
you felt that your vision's got in the way of things like that as well
Yeah.
as getting older?
Absolutely. I literally even just recorded a video the other day about it because I'm currently experiencing some more issues. But for sure. I was with someone from school for a while, and that was so easy because I knew them at school. They knew about my condition, like we were in
Yeah.
the same classes and everything. And it was just they, I guess, could see that I have this condition, but like it doesn't limit me and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so that was amazing. And then since then, it's been about 2 years, I think, and I'm in the dating world for like the first time. And it's quite difficult because I guess it's like two parts. It's like online and in person. So like in person, if I'm meeting someone, if I'm like out somewhere with like some friends or something, and even talking to someone, I shut down as soon as I feel like they notice something's different. So sometimes I'll look at someone and say I'm talking to them. It looks like I'm looking behind you. So they'll go like this, and then they make a joke, and then I shut down. I'm like, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to like the online world, and that's also hard because it's like, when do you disclose? And that's what I said in my video. I was like, do I write it on my profile? Do I not? And then I didn't. And then I was talking to people, and then I was like, when do I say it?
Yeah.
And then it's about meeting up, and it's like, well, I won't be able to spot you. I won't be able to see you. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard.
Especially with yours, I guess, as well, is it a bit of like you can't see it, your disability when, like, say, online looking at photos and things like that.
Absolutely. It's invisible.
Like, say with mine, it's pretty obvious. Like I'm in a wheelchair, it's a physical one. So people can look and go, yep, he has a disability.
Yes,
but
that's
for you,
true.
you might have to explain a bit more, and that's would put in like you said, when do you do it, and that sort of thing.
That's the thing. And I just was built up to be this huge thing, and I just never knew when to say it. But of course, like in that first conversation, it probably will come up like, what do you drive? Or it always does. You don't think it does, but it literally does. Like, oh, what do you drive? Or like, how'd you get here today? Or something like that. And it's like, oh, I actually can't. And then I see them go, oh my God, because they're like, oh my God, why? What's she done? What, And then it kind of goes from there. But I just have learnt to say it in a way now that, it doesn't limit me. And, I think people, when they realize, I think, especially when we're younger, they might look at it as like this might weigh me down, or it's awful, but I feel like that's what it is. And so I try and say it in a way that it's like, I am independent, but then also it's like, this is who I am. And when I did post a video about it, because it wasn't the best experiences that I've had, people were like, disclose up front, because it is part of you. It is, who you are. And it also filters out the people that you don't want in your life.
That's what I've found as well, because even though mine's physical, there's obviously more to it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I try to do, just say, look, this is it. And I always say it's the same, like before my injury, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Like now, you're also not going to be either. So you'd rather just say it at the start and be like, right, if you don't want to be a part of it, then don't waste your time that way. So it definitely filters out. And then also I just think to myself, if someone is negative about it, I'm like, I don't want you in my life anyway. So trying to not get weighed down about it. But it is, I'm literally in that phase right now. I've deleted the apps because I'm like, I just don't really like them anyway, but I'm just like, oh, whatever happens, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got mates without disabilities. Everyone says the same thing about dating anyway.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, some of my friends.
Yeah.
And so it's not, sometimes, and this is not just dating, it's everything. I get in my head so much about my disability, and I'm just like, it's because I have this. That's why no one wants me. But it's like, everyone has the same problems. Yeah. So it's like not just that,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea anyway, whether you have a disability or not.
Yes.
So, no, that's interesting. Very interesting. And so jumping back again now to the activities you've started doing now that you were sort of avoiding before.
Yes.
What are some of the cool, exciting things you're doing? I know you mentioned golf.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding, yeah, right. How's that going?
I took myself off to New Zealand last year for a solo trip, which I can't believe I did, but that's where, because I hit rock bottom kind of, and then I was like, I need to change my life. And yeah, went over there, and I literally was like, I'm going to snowboard. Anyway, that was an interesting experience. It took me, I was there for 3 months, so it took me a long time to figure out how to do it. But now I've gone to Japan and then just come back from New Zealand again a few weeks ago, and I love it. It's great. I just take it as slow as I possibly can, but I love challenging myself. So snowboarding, golfing. I love fishing as well. I've grown up on boats. When I was younger, my dad's a boat builder, so I used to fish all the time. We used to go to islands and all of that. So I love the outdoor life. I just always used to think that it was like too hard and I couldn't do something like that.
Yeah.
So kind of since New Zealand last year, it's when I'm now doing all of these hobbies. And I'm loving it.
That's cool. That's so cool. Like I said, trial and error. Give it a go.
Yes, of course.
So you had a moment, did you, where you were just like, where you say you hit rock bottom and just needed to do something?
So it was about maybe a year and a half now. I think it comes back to like the beliefs that I had about like not being able to, like I wasn't exercising because like I couldn't, I thought I couldn't, and I really became housebound because I was like, I can't do any of this stuff, and that I had to leave my 9 to 5, which I liked a lot because I was so overwhelmed over tiny tasks, but I think I was in like fight or flight that I just was, I can't even handle a little phone call, I left my job. I literally had nothing, and my relationship broke down because, I was a shell of a person. And then after that, I was like, what am I doing? My life is horrendous. And so then I was like, I need a shock to the system.
Yep.
And that's when I think I just was like, I wanted to go to Canada, and Mum was like, can we maybe do like 3-hour flight instead of like a 15?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
So and then that's where New Zealand came from, because I just was at a state where I was like,
you just went 0 to 100.
I just didn't know what else to do. I think.
Right.
And I am like that. Like I will like make a decision, and it's like I just, it was 0 to 100.
And great decision.
Best decision of my life.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. People that know me like they're just like, I wish people knew me before, because it's like I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. Talking about my story. Like I just,
massive mindset change. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you've now ventured into public speaking. I've seen. I've heard you say, it wasn't your disability holding back, but it was your mindset.
Yeah, that's like my key message in what I do say with my speaking. And it was actually from New Zealand that it all started. So I started like doing some daily vlogs over there online, and then a few people had like come across them, and one person was like, do you want to speak at our Christmas party and just share your story?
Yep.
So when I came back, I was like, absolutely. And I got on a stage, and it was a group of like 20 people, and I just was on the stage with a microphone and my slides behind me, and it was just, I went through the story of like my condition and my beliefs, and then New Zealand, because I just got back.
Yep.
And I loved it. I was on the stage and I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. I've always been like a bit of like a show off, or like someone that loves like,
just
when I was
attention.
5 I was on stage, I just like I love the attention. So when I was on the stage, I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. And because I've always wanted to help people. I even have a degree in social work, but I'm like, the frontline, it's just not for me. I find barriers and stuff with that. So I was like, using my voice is how I'm going to help.
Yeah.
And I love using my voice, so it kind of goes hand in hand. And then, from that, I've just gotten other speaking gigs. I just got back from Sydney like last week and did another one. So it's coming together, and I am finally living out the passion of helping people in a way that I can, and I have no barriers with using my voice.
And so your goal is to just, inspire people in similar situations, just to not let their disability stop them and things like that.
It's just to spread the message that for me, it was never my disability holding me back. It was my mindset about my disability that did.
Yep.
And to share videos just about me playing golf and things like that. And it's all with the goal to help people in similar situations, or even not, and just bring awareness to people that are able-bodied and they have a bad day and they're just like, life sucks, blah, blah, that type of thing. It's just to be like, we can change the mindset, and we can,
different perspective on things.
That
was another thing with all the people with disabilities in their life and different things is just a lot of them just don't let the little things worry them too much, because they realise there's a lot bigger things in life.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, I mean, you don't have to have a disability and a hard life to get sad. Everyone's allowed to be upset, but
yes.
just of not letting it drag on and
It's
having that perspective switch.
It's
and,
about like feeling obviously what you want to feel in the moment and that, but it's about not letting it persist. And it's like, what can I do to make this better? Because I think it's about realizing we actually do have control. Like we can make the decision. And I do say, I was like in my speech, like, although I can never drive, but I'm always in the driver's seat of my life. And we all are. And it's like when we face adversity, we let it beat us or we fight back.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like having and just showing people that there is that option. And
that's a great message. Is that similar with the new Disability Rewired you've started?
Yeah,
as well, with friend of the show,
Michaela. Michaela. So we've just started a little podcast, and we've got different perspectives of disability, but it is the same message of, you are capable, so much more capable than you think. And even back to like my New Zealand and things, it was like I thought I couldn't. My mindset went from I can't to like I absolutely can, and everyone's can. I'm no different to anyone else in the sense of like we can all like switch up the mindset and we have the control and the capability.
Yeah, so we're actually in competition now.
Yeah. Watch out.
No, that's okay. No, that's also, I think, like I said, a great message to spread. The more that's out there, spreading it, and making disability as normal and as accepted as possible. And
closing the gap.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a disability for coming on 8 years now.
Yes.
And I think even in my time since then, is like what I've seen in social media and TV and
TV's
modelling and that sort of stuff has been a massive a shift and a lot more representation, which I mean, it's good to see, but I think especially for younger kids that are growing up to see that. And, I think it'd be a massive thing. So it looks like it's trending in the right direction. And
it is. There's so much more to do. And I do worry as well. Like of course it is improved and that's amazing. But I'm also like, let's not just tick a box. Let's keep going. Like, let's actually, not just say, oh it's all right. There is some representation. Like, it's like there is so much more to be doing, and in community and system, everything. There's so much more that can be done. And as well, like with the message of the motivation and positivity, I also try and advocate and spread awareness and education on disability and just making people more aware, because there's a lot of fear around it, but there doesn't have to be.
Yeah, that's, I think, a lot of interactions that I've had that have been weird, I guess, for lack of a better word, has been people that don't mean, they mean well.
Yes.
And they're trying to help. They just have no idea how to go about it.
Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, it's the unknowing, I think.
Yeah, the more, like you said, education that can get out there about, like people come up to me like, oh, it's so good to see you out. And I was like,
oh my God.
Why? Like, you don't know me. Like, would you go
course.
say that to just someone else? Like, you don't, but they think that they're meaning well by saying that. But I'm like, even if it's overly nice, it's still being treated differently.
Yes,
so,
of course.
I guess that's a thing for people to take. Like, so.
Of course. There's so much that can be spread, and just little messages like what you just said then is so powerful, because people even just watching this might have a bit of unsure, uncertainty, and like even how to communicate like with someone, or like I know when I was starting a job, apparently everyone was running around the office going, oh my God, she's got COVID, what do we do, and someone was like, have you asked her?
Yeah, exactly.
They were like, oh no, and the person's like, what? Like, and that's again one of my biggest things that I spread is like, ask the person what they need.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't assume.
Yeah, just you can ask it and say, look, what do you need? What from us? And I'll tell you. And so then everyone's on the same page, and it's it's easy. Yeah. Which like I said, when people just don't know how to communicate, they think, is that rude? Is that not rude?
Yes, there's so much uncertainty, and fear.
So hopefully that's helped someone in the situation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. What about plans for the future then? What's on for you?
I always have big dreams and goals. I want to be Dylan Alcott, basically, for the vision community, and I love it. I love everything that they do, and I want to. My goal is to be a full-time speaker and big disability advocate for people in Australia, and just really make changes. Like, my first point of attack right now is the public transport system. Horrible. So it's just inaccessible. Yeah. So I'm like, bit by bit, I'm going to go to like local members and things like that and just really try and get some things sorted out.
There's so many things you see with like accessibility around the place where I look at them like there's no way someone with lived experience did this.
Yes.
Like I took my dogs to get groomed yesterday to a new pet barn, and it's a whole new estate and it's a whole new estate, like big commercial sheds.
Okay.
And there's a big gutter the whole way around the shops. I parked out the front of Pet Barn and then had to roll about 200 metres down to find a ramp to then get up and go around. Just like stupid things like that. I'm like, come on, you need more.
Yeah, and like, people don't obviously think about it. Again, coming back to like unless it's affecting them or they know someone, they just don't think about it. And same thing, even just like signage for me. And there's just a lot of little things that can be done.
Just by having someone with lived experience.
We need to be in these roles. I'm telling you, like we need to be in, like people with disability need to be in leadership positions. I will forever say that.
It's getting better, but it's still a long way to go.
Yeah, of course.
And what about a message for someone else out there that could be in a similar position to you or just someone with a disability? Do you have a message for them or a bit of advice?
I have a lot, but things I've said throughout, like I think my biggest thing is just knowing that you are actually more capable than you think. Like we all are, and some of us, like we don't realize it, and it's not until you kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone that you start seeing it. But a comfort zone is like it's like a plastic bag. If you push it and it inflates and it gets bigger, it'll never return to its original size again. So it's like you are more capable. All you have to do is just push yourself, small little steps each day, anything, honestly, but you'll realize that you are more capable. And then I think that is the biggest thing that
can go for people able-bodied as well.
Absolutely. Everyone, like we all have these little things that are holding us back. But my message is like to know and believe in yourself that you, like I'm telling you, I don't know you, but you are so much more capable than you think, because same thing, I didn't think that, and then now I'm like, I can overcome anything on my path.
I think that's a really good message. Like I said, able-bodied, disability, whatever it is, just push yourself, trial and error, and you'll find things along the way that work, and you'll figure out what doesn't work. But
what about you? What's a message from you? Put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. I wasn't prepared for this. Honestly, probably the same thing. Like trial and error, just like. That's the biggest thing I found about surrounding yourself with good people as well.
Yes,
I think that was massive for me. Having good support around me really helped and still does.
Yes.
So if you have those people in your life that aren't helping or willing to do things for you, then look at changing that. Make those hard calls. But I think that can really, and then just having that perspective on things, I think is huge too. If people want to get in touch with you or watch your videos or follow your journey, where can they find you?
TikTok is probably the main platform right now, and also Instagram, but it's just Chanelle Morris, and it's like 2 S's, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll tag you and stuff online anyway.
Yeah, definitely TikTok. I post every single day, and it's just, all things disability, advocacy, and just motivation and life, and
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and having a chat. It was really cool.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Sweet. Well, thanks very much to Chanelle for coming on and speaking about her experience. That was extremely interesting. I found that her change in her mindset was obviously huge and ended up having such a positive impact on her. So just by pushing herself and putting herself outside her comfort zone, as she spoke about, was huge to her. So obviously, as we were speaking about, encourage anyone else in a similar position that. I think in her words, she said that you are capable of more than you think. So, push yourself and see all the positive impacts that it can have. So, thank you to Chanelle for coming on and being vulnerable in speaking about her experiences. But if this episode or any of my episodes do bring up any adverse feelings, please contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Reach out and ask for help, and remember that it ain't weak to speak. Please check in on each other and make sure that your mates are doing okay. Check out my clips on Instagram at chatsfromachair_podcast. I'll have Chanelle tagged on there so you can find her page and watch all of her amazing adventures that she spoke about and more, and just watch her go about her life. It's really amazing the things that she's been able to overcome and continues to do so. So keep an eye on there, and then you'll also find out when the next episodes are coming, who I've got coming on, and keep track. So Anyway, thanks for coming listening to that one, and I'll see you next time.